You might be wondering how you can stop blood sugar spikes, or what are the best foods to eat to avoid them, or maybe why is my blood sugar always high? We're going to answer all those questions in this video. And if you stay till the end, I'll show you one bonus tip that will really help keep your blood sugar levels steady. So let's get into it. The first way to understand how blood sugar spikes happen is to think about how long your blood sugar stays high after eating. It could be minutes or hours. If you're concerned about avoiding high blood sugar, check out our video on the best breakfast to lower blood sugar where we go into more detail. So let's talk about when your blood sugar rises rapidly and then returns to normal quickly. This type of spike happens when you consume simple carbs like white bread, sodas, or sweets. These foods digest super fast and turn into glucose, which raises your blood sugar level quickly. The problem is that they also don't fill you up for the amount of calories that they provide, so you're left hungry and craving more food soon after you eat them. On the other hand, when you eat complex carbohydrates like whole grains, fruits, or vegetables, your blood sugar doesn't rise as fast because these carbs have more fiber, which slows down digestion. Fiber keeps the glucose from being absorbed too quickly into your bloodstream, helping you feel full and satisfied while preventing a sudden spike in your blood sugar levels. So instead of white rice, try brown rice or quinoa, or instead of white bread, try whole wheat bread. You can also try replacing some of the carbs in a recipe with finely chopped veggies like carrots, squash, or zucchini. Even a little bit can make a difference. If you'd like some delicious recipes to try, check out the link in the description below. Now, let's talk about another way to avoid a rapid rise in blood sugar. Pair carbs with protein, fiber, or healthy fats. As we mentioned earlier, foods high in fiber slow down digestion and help prevent blood sugar spikes. That's why it's a good idea to pair your carbs with a source of protein, fiber, or healthy fat. For example, if you're having cereal for breakfast, choose a whole grain cereal with nuts and seeds or even some peanut butter. Or, if you're making pasta, try adding some lean ground turkey or a side salad with olive oil. Just remember that the pairing should have about 15 grams of carbs per serving. You can find out how many carbs are in something by checking the nutrition facts label. Okay, now let's talk about a rapid rise that lasts a long time. This kind of spike happens when you eat carbs that are high on the glycemic index. The glycemic index is a scale that ranks carbs based on how quickly they raise your blood sugar. Foods that are high on the scale, like white potatoes and watermelon, can cause a really big spike in your blood sugar, and they're usually low in fiber. Foods that are low on the glycemic index, like lentils, apples, and sweet potatoes, don't raise your blood sugar as much. So try to stick to the low glycemic index options when you can. So how do you know which carbs are high on the glycemic index? Well, here are a few clues. First, starchy vegetables like potatoes and corn are usually high on the glycemic index. And although fruit has natural sugars, most fruits aren't high on the glycemic index since they also contain lots of fiber. But when you mix fruit with carbs that are already high on the index, like in a fruit smoothie with bananas and potatoes, the combo can cause a spike. Also, if you cook the starchy vegetable or fruit, it will raise its glycemic index ranking. So it's better to eat things like potatoes and corn raw or lightly steamed. Let's take a look at an example. Let's compare a baked potato with skin versus a baked potato without skin. A medium baked potato with the skin has about 38 grams of total carbs and a glycemic index ranking of 94, whereas a medium baked potato without skin has only 26 grams of carbs and a glycemic index ranking of 74. So by just leaving the skin on the potato, you decrease the amount of carbs and you decrease the ranking on the glycemic index. Another example, you can compare canned pineapple versus fresh pineapple. 1 cup of canned pineapple has 24 grams of total carbs and a glycemic index ranking of 64, whereas 1 cup of fresh pineapple has 16 grams of carbs and a glycemic index ranking of 51. So, fresh fruit tends to have less carbs and a lower glycemic index ranking than canned fruit. So, if you're trying to avoid blood sugar spikes, it's best to stick with fresh, low glycemic index fruits and vegetables and leave the skins on your produce when you can. Also, don't forget that oils and vinegars can affect your blood sugar too. For example, olive oil actually lowers the glycemic index of foods you eat with it, and some types of vinegar, like apple cider vinegar, can also help prevent spikes. In fact, a study found that people who drank apple cider vinegar with their meal had much lower blood sugar levels than those who did not drink any vinegar. So try putting some vinegar on your salads or dipping your bread in olive oil before you eat it with your meal. Okay, so let's say you notice your blood sugar spikes after you eat carbs. What should you do next? Well, the first step is to think about what you did before you ate. Were you sitting or were you moving around? When you exercise or do other types of physical activity, your muscle cells absorb more glucose, which helps keep your blood sugar levels steady. So start by staying active, but don't overdo it. If you've been inactive for a while, start slowly and gradually increase the amount of physical activity you do. Or, if you're already active, just keep doing what you're doing. If you're worried about your blood sugar levels, you should definitely talk to your doctor. They can help you figure out if the spikes are caused by your diet or if they could be a sign of something else. Your doctor can also help you decide if you need to monitor your blood sugar. In fact, monitoring your levels can help you make changes to your diet or physical activity plan to prevent spikes. Plus, if you have risk factors for diabetes, like being overweight or having a family history of the disease, monitoring your levels can help you catch any problems early. If you want to learn more about the signs and symptoms of diabetes, watch our video Signs You Should Check Your Blood Sugar Levels. All right, now let's talk about a spike that stays high for a long time, but it's not due to the type of carbs you eat. Sometimes a long-lasting spike happens when you eat too large of a meal. Your body needs time to digest and absorb the nutrients in food, but if you're constantly eating huge meals, your digestive system can get backed up, leading to uncomfortable bloating and even more serious problems like irritable bowel syndrome. So try eating smaller meals throughout the day instead of 3 big ones. And if you are feeling extra hungry, have a small snack between meals to help prevent a big spike later. Another way to prevent your blood sugar levels from staying high for a long time is to stay hydrated. Drinking water helps move food through your digestive tract, which prevents it from sitting in your stomach for too long. So try to drink 8 glasses of water a day. You can also get fluids from other sources like fruits and veggies, but try to avoid sugary drinks like soda and juice, which can raise your blood sugar levels. Now, let's talk about when a blood sugar spike turns into a crash. Sometimes when your blood sugar levels go up really high, your body releases tons of insulin to bring them back down. However, too much insulin can cause a reaction called hypoglycemia, where your blood sugar drops below 70 dl. It can happen after you eat a meal that's too high in carbs and sugar or when you drink alcohol. Hypoglycemia can leave you feeling weak, shaky, or confused, so it's important to be aware of it. To prevent a crash, you should keep track of how many carbs you eat each day and don't skip meals. If you're feeling low, have a snack with carbs and protein like a banana, and some almonds or a yogurt parfait with berries and granola. And if you think you're having a reaction, check your blood sugar with a glucose meter. Then drink some fruit juice and lie down until you feel better. And don't forget, if your blood sugar levels are consistently crashing, it could be a sign of a bigger problem like an insulin or glucagon deficiency. So see your doctor to rule out any medical causes. And we promised you a bonus tip. Did you know that stress can make your blood sugar levels go up? It does. So find healthy ways to relax like yoga, meditation, or taking a walk in nature. Just be careful if you take insulin or other diabetes medications. Too much stress can make your blood sugar levels drop, so you may need to adjust your medication doses. Well, there you have it, the nitty-gritty details on blood sugar spikes. We hope this video helps you manage your blood sugar levels and make healthier food choices. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.